and welcome once again to the Select Characters podcast. My name is Chris. I am not deathly ill anymore, although it was touch and go there for a sec. But I'm back now, at least for this week, until the next illness hits me. I am joined today by two other friends, and I'm just going to talk about them right now. Samuel Yates, hiya.
Hi, that's me.
Speak to me of Gilmore Girls.
Oh man, it's back. It's great. It's so good.
Right?
Those 4
episodes. Did you see the entire thing in one go?
Oh my god, No, not in one go. I had to save one for the next day because they are very long. But the first one was okay, and then the second one kind of ramped in, and by the third one, I wasn't watching a Netflix remake of Gilmore Girls. I was just watching Gilmore Girls.
Right? Yeah, they managed to keep everything about that show intact, even though this season happens, I think 9 years after the season before that one ended. And they got back everyone, the same director, the same writers, everybody from the cast is still there for some reason. It's great.
It's so good, man. There's something about Lauren Graham where she sort of looks like she's going to cry all the time. So when she does actually decide to act like she's about to cry, it just gets you. Like if there was a drag race and one of the cars got to start at 15 miles an hour, it's like that.
You kind of lost me there at the end, but sure.
You know how she kind of always looks like she's about to cry, just regardless?
Isn't that Rory?
No. This is definitely Lauren Graham. This is a mom.
All right. I guess.
All right, well, you'll see it now, probably.
You might have ruined the entire show for me now, which is not what I wanted to get out of this conversation. I just wanted some pre-show banter, but this is what we got. Right, you can tell us about something else. You at Thanksgiving, and we, as two Europeans, hi Jamie, by the way, as two Europeans that don't know anything about the US, we are just completely bamboozled by Thanksgiving as a holiday. So explain, what the hell is Thanksgiving?
What's this about pardoning the turkey?
Oh, pardoning the turkey. That's probably the main event. It's the president. One of his superpowers is he can pardon people. So every Thanksgiving he pardons a turkey, like reprieves their death sentence, so that they may continue on. Yeah, and it's like there's a field of turkeys who are eligible, like 100 or so, and they find the ones who can kind of behave on camera, get them down to 20, and then I think they get them down to 2. And then the president pick one, gives him a stay of execution.
What the fuck? It's like some sort of sick game
I know,
show.
but it's so good.
Why does it feel like a WWE storyline?
It's so good. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like if you had using that bureaucratic power in such like a fun and silly way is one of the cool things about Thanksgiving for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the country has no other pressing matters to attend to. You better just skip all that and go straight for the pardoning of the fucking turkey.
If I had it my way, he would only get one pardon a year also. So instead of pardoning an actual human being, he would save a turkey.
I can't believe I've never heard of this before. I feel like this should be on like every channel and every like movie theater
That's what I'm
at the
saying.
same time.
I know. I agree. I think it's awesome.
It's so weird though. But by the way, Jamie, you shouldn't really laugh because you've got Guy Fawkes night.
Oh yeah, that's great. You just like stuff some old clothes with tissue and then beg for money.
'Tis the British way. Yeah, and we've got Sinterklaas as well, which is a contentious subject as well. I don't know if I told you about that one, Sam. I know that Jamie definitely knows, but we've got Sinterklaas. And that is the time of the year where loads of white people dress up in blackface and go around chucking candy at kids.
Jackpot.
And I'm not even kidding. You can look that up. And obviously, it's culturally very insensitive nowadays to do that. So now you've just got white people in black smut on their face. But you can still see that white people, but their skin's blacker than it usually is. It's a weird country, man. All right. Holiday celebrations are fucking weird. Although, pardoning a turkey, that is a level of insanity you can only find in the US of A.
I can tell you one turkey that did not get pardoned. That's the one that went right in my belly.
I did see the photos of that one, didn't we?
Yeah, I did send you a photo. First year I deep fried it. It was awesome.
You deep fried a turkey?
Hell yeah.
So did anyone end up having to go to the hospital, like you so subtly implied in the Slack channel?
No. We did watch a YouTube compilation of turkey frying failures afterwards as a reward to ourselves.
Oh my god! For every niche there is content nowadays. It's fantastic.
Dude, like the turkey needs to be pardoned, implying that it's done something wrong.
No, but
simply
even
by existing.
No, even so, when he gets pardoned, he's not smart enough to appreciate the gesture.
Is anyone keeping track of the turkey afterwards as well? Are they making sure that they don't just do it as a big show and then just shove them in the back of a van to a factory anyway?
You know that's happening. That's going to happen backstage. You just know that's what's happening.
The turkey that was pardoned this year was named Tater and Tot.
What the? You're Disney ass fucking country, man.
Oh shit! He pardoned 2 turkeys this year. Okay, cool.
What?
Yeah. One was 40 pounds. God. Wow.
The rules are changing.
40 pounds is a big turkey.
Do you think that Trump will just, forego the entire pardoning thing in favor of having more turkey on his dinner table?
No. It's a tradition, man.
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's just not talk about politics then, shall we? Let's just move on to video games. It has been a great... It has been a great week for video games. And we're going to start with Sam. What have you been playing this week?
This week? Oh, boy. Let's see. I got a lot of video games in. I'm going to touch on a few that I don't have much to say about. I played Styx, Master of Shadows. It's
that's a great game.
Stealth kind of jam. That was pretty fun. And then I played... Let's see. Oh, Jackbox Party Pack 3 with the family.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that is good.
It's still a hoot, man. Still a really good time. And you can get everybody in on it, which is still really, really great.
Yeah, it's really ingenious, right? That they decided to use the phone as a controller.
It's awesome. And that the new Trivia Murder Party game is very funny and very cool.
Yes, that one's really good. I like to do Quiplash as well.
Quiplash is also good, and then now you can add your own stuff. I didn't really mess with that. I saw they had a Thanksgiving pack, and then thought about getting that in there, but didn't actually get to it.
There's this weird game, and I don't really remember the name, but it's like you design anime T-shirts or something of that ilk.
Oh yeah,
it's one of the games in the third one.
That was
it's
called
really weird, but it's really fun.
TKO, I want to say it's called. And
I think so.
Everybody draws, and then everybody writes in a bunch of slogans. And then they get shuffled around to everybody, and everybody picks one of the pictures and one of the slogans out of the whole batch that's been made up by everybody, and then they face off each other, and you vote and try and pick, and then the best T-shirt wins, basically. You can
actually order your favorite T-shirt from the guys that make Jackbox, so they just send it to you home.
And also that, yeah, there was one that we made or that my wife put together with a Christmas tree on it, and it said "Deck the Balls" underneath. I was like, well, that's a really good one. And then we had another one where somebody drew a tank with a guy on the top and shooting shells off into the distance, and at the bottom somebody captioned it "Drama Free Zone." Those were my 2 favorite ones that we made. But the family people don't like to draw as much, it seems.
Squares.
They are squares. And there's parts of that where it does get frustrating, actually. Trying to explain to my stepmom, she just when it came time to write the slogans, she just wrote them all in the box without hitting enter in between each one. And I'm like, come on, dude. Just hit enter in between each one. It's not that hard. There's something about playing games with people where they don't ask the question and then they get really upset that the game is so stupid. But you're stupid. The game's not stupid. And there's no dumb questions. Just ask a question and I will answer your question. Don't put it all on the fact that the game is broken because you don't understand it. That's on you. That's not on the game.
Tell us how you really feel, man.
That's how I really feel. Yeah.
It's a safe space. You can share everything you like.
It's just there's nothing at stake here. You know what I mean? This isn't even a competition. So just have fun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a tangent. Also, the game I really put some time into was Tower Climb, which is Spelunky but in reverse and very pixelated. So instead of going down, you're going up trying to climb this tower. And it is very similar in a lot of ways, trying to master the movement mechanics and work your way through procedurally generated tower.
All right.
That was on sale during the Steam sale. It's pretty great.
No, never heard of it, but what else is new?
Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, wait, I did play Rainbow Six Siege for like an hour.
Oh, right. Yeah, you told me about that earlier in the week.
Yeah, that game seems really, really cool, man. Whenever there's like a game thread somewhere on Reddit, there's normally somebody in the comments somewhere down towards the middle who's going, "Hey guys, if you haven't seen Rainbow Six Siege, you should check it out. It's great now." And I for some reason, I read one at the right time when it was on sale, and I was like, okay, well, let's see if these people know what they're talking about. Although I guess it could be the same person every time. but
yeah, just goes around diligently and just injects Rainbow Six Siege into the comments.
The director of the game.
Yeah, but the acolytes for that game are out there, so I was like, okay, cool, let's check this out and see what's going on. And that game actually is really fun. Those people are right. I obviously didn't play it at launch, so I don't know how bad it was, but I heard that the hacking was really bad.
Yeah,
a lot of aimbots and stuff like that, and apparently they've cleaned it all up, and it is a very cool, very fun shooter to play.
Oh, cool to hear that. Apparently the destruction and stuff of the maps is really, really detailed. You can just, take out entire walls and stuff.
Oh, yeah, and you can, like, shoot through the walls, which is cool.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and you put little bullet holes in them, and you can look through and then, like, shoot people. Or putting a breaching charge on a wall and then going in right after it, guns blazing, is just very, very top-notch.
Do you get those moments when you're playing with random people, or do you really need to team up with your buddies to get stuff like that to happen?
I think it's pretty fine with random people because I think it's so ingrained into the game that you kind of have to. Like,
right.
If it's part of the victory condition, kind of teaming up and making your gadgets work together and stuff.
Oh, all right. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
How content-heavy is that game? So I had the feeling that after a couple of hours, it would just become very samey and repetitive. Is there enough in there to keep it fresh?
I think so. I know they've added a whole lot since launch, almost to the point where coming into it now, a year after release, it seems overwhelming. So, I mean, I would imagine it would take a lot of time to kind of pick through that content because all the characters are different and there's so many different characters and it just seems like a lot to me, but I haven't learned the maps or learned the people or anything yet. But at face value, from what I can tell from digging into it so far, there seems to be a lot.
Oh, that's very good. I'm glad they managed to turn that game around then.
It sure seems like it is great, man. And the best part is, like, every round that starts, all the attacking people start out driving a little drone, and you need to drive it through the house or whatever to find the objective. So it's just like all these little cars racing around, and if you're on the defending team, you're trying to track down and shoot all the little cars. That's real silly and real fun.
That's pretty fun. I'll probably pick it up during the winter sale then. Sounds good.
Yeah, I recommend it.
All right, anything else?
That about wraps me up.
All right, we'll slide on over to Jamie Van Lint. Hiya.
Hello.
Tell us.
I kind of hit like a slump sort of last week. I couldn't really be bothered to play anything.
That's inconvenient for the purpose of this podcast.
Oh, that's not the end of the story though, Chris.
Oh.
There's a lot of twists and turns in this one. However, I was checking out the store and I saw this one game called The Bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of this?
I've not. Tell me more.
Oh, awesome. It's like a British-made live-action point-and-click game.
Okay.
All right.
And it's a really interesting. It's really story-based, and in terms of gameplay, there's not really a lot going on. It's like a even more simplified, like Heavy Rain or something. But the story behind it's great. It's not the longest game. It's a couple of hours, but it was just something like really nice and new and refreshing that sort of like refreshed me a little bit on games and got me got that energy back in me.
So what you proceeded to do after that was run straight back to Rayman.
Basically, yeah.
Oh God.
I've finally cracked the 1,000-point mark. So.
It sounds to me like that game has managed to crack you quite some time ago, mate. Because
I need to do something big when I finally complete that. Like, I'm going to throw a house party or something. And no one's going to know. Like, I'm going to invite everyone I know, and, like, 4 of them are going to know what the hell Rayman is, and everyone else is just going to not have a clue.
Be very happy for you and encourage you, because we're all friends.
Wow, that's a very optimistic view of the world.
Yeah, The Bunker, though, man. I recommend it. I really recommend it.
Are you saying it's like FMV?
Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
I haven't seen an FMV game in a long time.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I didn't know what to expect from it. Like, but the acting is really good, surprisingly. The story is actually great. The atmosphere it creates is amazing. And it's not really so much a horror as it is like a psychological thriller, but it's really, really effective at constantly keeping you on edge.
Right.
The atmosphere was very reminiscent of a Silent Hill game, even though gameplay-wise and all stuff like that, it's nothing like a Silent Hill game.
It's sort of dour, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
like you're constantly waiting for something to happen. There's always, feels like there's something around every single corner or lurking in the darkness, and like it does a very good job of like filling you with a sense of anxiety and dread.
Lovely.
I definitely recommend it.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, for the first time in like forever, I actually played a new game. Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, so...
Should have guessed. All right, let's have it. Is it good?
It's all right.
All right, it's not the response I was expecting. Why is it just all right and not fantastic?
Because I've played a few hours of it, and I feel like so far all that's happened is people have just talked at me. Just talked at me. Like I said, I've played for a few hours. I feel like I've had maybe 2 Pokemon battles. I've caught 2 Pokemon, and everything else is just people just constantly bombarding me with information about this town where they are and all these things that are happening. And it's like, well, I'd like to get out there and explore this town and see these things that are happening if you didn't keep me here just fucking telling me about this shit.
Hooray.
Yeah, that sounds very positive all around, Jane.
I've like in terms of gameplay and stuff, like it's Pokemon. It's just like it literally is just a more updated Pokemon game. It's exactly what you'd expect. I just think it has massive pacing issues.
There's no gym leaders this time around, right?
No, there's like these weird trial things that you have to complete instead.
Yeah, I heard something like that. Like, and there's islands or something.
Yeah, and there's like new mechanics where like if you're fighting a Pokemon, they can call their best friend, and then their best friend shows up, and then you got to fight more of them and stuff.
Yay.
Like, I think mechanically wise, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're gonna like it. I just think they need to, well, they should have like cut down on a lot of those dialogue boxes, especially when this is a game that's coming out. And I know that they kind of want to stick to their roots a bit.
Well, but no, they don't want to do that because they took away gyms and gym leaders, which is like a cornerstone thing, right?
But mechanically, like, the game's still exactly the same as it was when it first released. Like, all these text boxes and the way you go around and stuff. And, like, there's no, like, voice acting at all. Even, like, there's, like, little mini cutscenes that come off really awkwardly because there's no voice acting. So it's just, like, kind of happy Hawaiian music playing while there's, like, this action sequence of some woman running down a corridor with a briefcase. And, like, some guards spot her. And rather than being like, oh, there she is, they sort of just, like, look surprised and point.
Do security guards use Pokemon for security purposes?
I'd imagine so, but it didn't look like it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Odd.
What are they telling you though? Like, what is the reason for all this exposition? Are they just telling you about the roller skates? No, nothing.
No, it's like they say so much without. What is it? They talk a lot without saying anything. That's the one. Like, it's literally just about, like, oh, welcome to our town. Like, we have a festival that's going on. And then there'll just be, like, 20 dialogue boxes telling you about this festival and shit. And it's like, well, let me go see the festival. Don't tell me about it. Let me experience it.
Show, not tell, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, though, everything else is still, like, great Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, you're going to like it.
Yeah, I don't, so. Now, man, my love for contemporary Pokemon started and ended with Pokemon Go. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful time. It was a great 2.5 weeks or whatever. That's
a little nostalgic shot in the arm for you. That's it.
Yeah, and the only bit of nostalgia I've allowed myself. So, have to move on.
Game's weird as fuck too. Like, you have these Z moves. I think they're called Z moves, which are like these super powerful moves. And what the fire, like, starter Pokemon, his finishing move is a moonsault, which is like a wrestling maneuver, and like when you use it, he literally conjures a wrestling ring out of fire.
Awesome.
Climbs to the top rope and then like hits him with a moonsault.
Yes. All right. Now I'm on board. What camp are you in for the starter Pokemon?
Oh, I always choose the fire type, and usually it's not a thing where I'm like, oh, it has to be fire. I just always think that those ones normally end up looking the best. The only exception to that was Greninja in the last generation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I do. Do I? All right. Is that all you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I played a lot of Peggle 2 as well. Like, that's where most of my week went, was into Peggle 2.
Seriously, fucking Peggle.
Hell yeah, Peggle's great.
I discovered it, like, at the very bottom end of my installed games list on my PlayStation. Was like, oh, Peggle, it's been a while. I'm gonna just, like, pop on and play around. And then I completed the game to 100%.
That's what I'm talking about. You can always play more Peggle.
All right,
I don't know.
I've never actually played it because I've got this funny thing called self-respect.
You got to get some Peggle.
What?
You got to get some Peggle in your life, man.
Dude, Peggle's amazing.
I'm not going to be the fake surprise person to be like, oh my God, really? I can't believe. No, I'm not going to be that. I'm just going to tell you, Peggle is a really good game. There's a level where there's a crab and his claws are the flippers and you can keep flipping the ball back up.
That sounds absolutely fucking fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
There's a character in, like, on Peggle 2, there's like a DLC character, and every character you play as, like, it makes the sound effects change just like subtly to a different thing.
Right.
And this one character, his sound effects is every time the ball hits a peg, it's just someone saying the word boing.
I'll take that. What? Does it like increase in pitch gradually? Like
yeah, it does.
Yes, nice.
It starts really low pitch, and then the more you hit, it just gets higher and higher.
Oh my God.
And then when you use his what's it called, like his special move, the music kicks in and it's dubstep, and it's just the same guy saying wob wob wob.
Yeah, all right, I'm in. Let's do this. I want to play it again now. I never got to play with that guy. Something about the progression of the sound as you're hitting subsequent pegs is just
it's so
fucking so good, man. Yeah. Chris, you got to play Peggle, man.
Apparently I do.
You're really missing out. You are really missing out. It's from am
I really though? Am I really missing out?
You really are missing out. Yeah. It's from like when PopCap was awesome. Like the golden PopCap years.
Nope.
Oh, come on, man.
I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Yay, something to look forward to in the darkest of months.
Peggle's a good game, man. 2 out of 3 people on this podcast agree. That's close to... Actually, we have a quorum. That's enough for a quorum, so Peggle is a good video game.
It's enough for a what?
A quorum, like a majority vote. We have enough members to make a majority vote.
This is not a fucking democracy. You don't get to decide which games I play by popular vote.
Well, I mean, we could vote on whether that's true or not.
Yeah, I disagree.
So, yep, there you go. Once again. Anything else you want to bring to the table? I'm logging this in the minutes right now.
I'm sort of scared to bring up anything now. 1 second.
It's Robert's Rules of Order. That's what you got to look into.
All right, here I am again. Yeah, a friend of mine just walked in to set up Google Hangouts on his phone so he could listen in. So, all right.
But he doesn't get
I guess
to
it's
vote,
my turn,
just to be clear.
No, he doesn't get to vote. Right. No, he's fully aware of that. I guess it's my turn now, right?
Yeah.
I've been playing a ton of Assassin's Creed, actually, due to the recent release of the Ezio collection. So I thought I'd just boot up some of the older ones, not 2, which would have been logical. Now I skipped that one entirely and just went straight for 3. Oh my God.
Ouch.
The locale is still awesome in 3, but the performance is fucking terrible. Even with everything on low, I've got a machine that can play the third one without any problem. Should not have any problem running that at ultra on 1080p, right? Apparently not. Even on the lowest of settings, I was still getting around 40, sometimes low 30s FPS for no fucking reason whatsoever. So I gave up real quick, and then I went to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which runs like a fucking dream, thankfully. But then I got bored of that, and I started playing Unity as of 2 days ago. Don't you laugh. Unity actually works really well on PC now. It runs fantastically well. I've seen a very minimum amount of glitches and stuff, so that one's just great. And I think that Unity is probably my favorite game, not because of the themes or the story, but because of Paris, a city which I love an awful lot. And their design of the city itself is perfect. It's like really walking through Paris. So yeah, that one wins. The characters are all fucking boring though, like really, really boring. Arno is boring. That girl is boring. The assassins are just boring in general. Nothing about it is really all that interesting. Yeah, apart from the French Revolution, obviously. But the story's not about the French Revolution, so why even fucking bother, right?
Yeah, to be fair, the Assassin's Creed characters have never been that great.
You take that back.
Everyone's just got, like, a dead family. That's it.
Well, you know, tragedy breeds whatever the fuck they've got going on.
Tragedy breeds sequels?
I guess. I guess. I'm going to play Syndicate after I'm done with Unity as well, just to see how that runs on PC. It ran a lot better on PlayStation 4, but my PC is better than my PlayStation 4, so it should be able to run that game better.
Why did you skip 2?
Yeah, it's a fine game. It's just not my favourite one in the series.
Okay.
So you bought like a mega pack or something?
Yeah, I bought a mega pack over the course of the last 12 years.
Oh, I see. I got you. Okay.
I just got every single one of them.
Cool.
Any further questions? Or?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Did you check the servers to see if anybody was on playing the multiplayer?
In Black Flag, they are, yes. It's not very crowded, but I was able to find a game every time I tried it. But don't expect you to play a quick game at all. I was in a queue for like 10 or 15 minutes at one point. So it's almost dead, but not quite yet.
Cool.
That's not cool, man. The multiplayer in those games has always been awesome.
I thought Brotherhood, or was it 2?
No, Brotherhood was the first one to incorporate that version of the multiplayer.
That was really good stuff.
It's the same in 3 and 4, actually. Only better refined, I guess.
It's a great mode. I wish they should just make a multiplayer one.
Yeah. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. I'm not entirely sure if they're ever going to do stuff like that.
That's all I got. No further questions.
Okay, cool. Something else. Yeah, I played the Natural Disasters expansion pack for City Skylines.
Hey, yeah. I saw a little bit about that.
Yeah, I got a code for review, so I actually submitted my review today, and it's coming out today, as of recording this, the 29th of November, that is. It's pretty good. It feels like the first actual expansion pack to City Skylines, because the other ones just added small bits and pieces, I guess. After Dark was just a day-night cycle with some extra buildings thrown in for good measure. And the other one after that, Snowfall or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was the Seasons one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. No, it wasn't really Seasons, that one, was it? It was just snow and rain, and that was it. Well, technically, you can have all your bases covered with that, actually. Snow, rain, mist. But yeah, this expansion pack adds a ton of new stuff to the game, including ways you can prepare yourself for impending disasters in your city. So like convoys that give you an early warning if a tsunami's headed your way. You've got fallout shelters. Well, not really fallout shelters, but just shelters. You can just kick your people in the moment something goes wrong. There's even a deep space radar that notifies you when a meteor is coming your way. And when some disasters do hit, it is extremely debilitating, like extremely so. Like entire neighborhoods can be just wiped out. Forest fires can wipe out entire forests and your city if your city happens to be either in or close to a forest. So it does add a level of difficulty to the game that wasn't there previously.
Yeah.
Is there a decent defense against that, or is it just arbitrarily, like every now and again, you'll get fucked?
Well, like I said before, you can plop down certain buildings to warn you ahead of time and can help you to evacuate people as quickly as possible if disaster strikes. So it takes less long to rebuild your city after that, because you'll have to take care of all the rubble after the disaster is over.
Right, so there's no way of stopping it. You just have to make it more convenient to rebuild afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And that is also the biggest problem, I think. Who really wants to have this expansion pack? This is mostly for casual players who want to see something spectacular in their game, or for people who don't really look at aesthetics all that much and just try. Jesus, what's the word I'm looking for? Like people who like to design the city won't really want to use the disasters, right? Because they fuck up your city entirely. You have to rebuild everything. And if you like aesthetics, that's not the way to go for you. So this expansion pack might not be for you at all, you know? Mm-hmm. So somebody like Sam probably won't enjoy playing that.
I don't know. It sounds awesome to me. I mean, it sounds like it adds stakes to a game where previously the biggest danger was like mixing up your sewage output and your water intake and making everybody drink poop water. Like once you got a handle on that, the rest of the game was just very easy. Like with enough patience, it's not a big deal. You just wait and the money just keeps coming in. So very, very low stakes. However, like something that adds an element of danger, it sounds like it could be a really nice addition. Kind of puts you on the clock, right? Like if you know something's coming and you need to get ready for it ahead of time, like maybe a way that you could actually lose potentially.
Well, if you like, you know, having an actual goal in a failure state, this expansion also adds scenarios to the game, which can also be made by just random players, and they can be uploaded to the game to the Steam Workshop as well. And these scenarios put you in a map and give you an objective, like build a city on these tiny islands and try to not have them demolished by the tsunamis coming to wreck your shit every 20 minutes or something like that. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, and yeah, definitely get the expansion pack. It's $14.99, I think, which is a very friendly price for the amount of content you'll be getting with this game. So, that's the best recommendation I can give it, I guess.
Are there any giant spider mechanoid alien things like Wild Wild West?
No, it's meteors, it's flash floods, I believe, tornadoes, sinkholes and earthquakes as well.
Cool. A good sinkhole would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, everybody loves a good sinkhole.
Like,
why does that feel dirty to say?
I just think it would be so funny, like when you're building your city and you have that nice, like maybe let's say the commercial district where there's lots of skyscrapers and stuff, and then just ba-woomph, goodbye.
Well, that is a thing that can actually happen now. So, yay, I guess.
It sounds cool to me. I like that.
Right, I'll give it a go. That's basically everything I've played. So let's just move on to the news, and we're going to talk about Ubisoft for a bit more, because apparently the Division's active player count is back to launch numbers after patch 1.4 that was released in October. So the Division had a not so great launch, and the few months after the launch weren't all that great either, because there were a ton of bugs and exploits. People were using those exploits and bugs to get stuff that the easy way, essentially. But apparently patch 1.4 fixed an awful lot, and everybody's back to playing it again. Sam, have you actually played this game after you heard that news?
I haven't, but I'm very seriously thinking about it. I kind of eyeballed it a little bit this morning, thought about reinstalling it. I'm on the point where, like, if I have a free day, it's probably going to happen. Those patch notes sound really great, man. Like, now you can craft in bulk. They changed the looting system with something called World Tiers. I didn't read too many details into that, but that loot system definitely needed an overhaul. And I haven't seen any of the content, the intermittent content, since that one, what was it called? It was the thing that was like a tunnel and 4 ladders and then a big room.
Oh, was it Falcon Lost or something?
I think that's right. Yeah, that was that was basically the point where I got off the train. And
yeah, same here.
These changes sound really, really great. I can't recall the full patch notes, but it's a lot of quality of life stuff and a lot of like loot rarity stuff that's very important, and it all sounds pretty neat. And the survival mode sounds cool, but from what I can tell, it doesn't seem to tie into the main game. Like, you don't get loot out of it or anything, and in that case it's probably not appealing.
No, it's just a battle royale thing, you know.
Yeah,
like the culling is, for instance.
But I like the mechanics of that game. I like playing it. The shooting feels so good, and it is awesome. One of the things was, like, they lowered the time to kill on the enemies as well.
Yeah, I read that in the patch notes.
Like, just a lot of really solid changes all around. So I do want to at least take a little walk around tour and kind of glance at the sites and see what's going on in there now, because I did like it when it came out.
Yeah, definitely. We both did, actually. Like, the game looks great. The open world is great. The shooting is really awesome as well. Plus, you know, the mission design was fantastic.
Those dungeons were some of the best shooter dungeons. Just, they were so good, man.
Yeah, really, really good. So excited, actually, for the Division, because they seem to be on the right track once again.
It really does seem like it. I mean, basically the player count is all the evidence that I need.
Yeah. Well, I think you owe the people an apology for your cynicism when they asked for fans of the show to go to the studio in Sweden, and you said, it's just a publicity stunt.
Yeah, that's true.
And that wasn't.
Yeah, apparently not. I mean, it did take them a while to get that stuff going, but
yeah, it's true. Like, arguably, all the stuff that they've implemented now, all the quality of life stuff, that should have been there at launch, really, because it's a lot of stuff that you just expect to be in a base game anyway.
I mean, you know, a lot of people don't get to pick the first thing that they're wrong about, but for me, I'm glad that it was this one.
All right, that's one story. And the other one, I didn't actually think that we'd ever talk about this game ever again, but there was a new update for No Man's Sky, a pretty substantial one at that. It's called the Foundation Update, and it adds basic building to the game. It adds ways for you to go back to previously visited planets. You can mark them, stuff like that. But the way they worded it was specifically that this update was a foundation for things to come, you know, implying that there's more coming. And I can't really help but feel sort of hyped for that, actually, because the game has a lot of potential. I mean, the tech is awesome. The art style is incredible, you know? It's just, there wasn't a lot of game there, and they seem to be willing to make more now, which is good. I thought they'd just cut the money and run because, you know, radio silence, stuff like that, but apparently not. They're working on it again.
Seems cool. Enrique would be the person to talk to about that.
Yeah, he likes that game a ton more than I do as well, and he's more knowledgeable on it than I am, I guess. I just want this to turn into a rags to riches story, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to root for the underdog, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where I stand on the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can still, you know, blame them for the things that they've done wrong, which, you know, are plenty. They flat out lied about features being in the game that weren't even there, and the difference in graphics between what they showed in the preview stuff and the actual game is like night and day. But I sort of applaud their tenacity, that they're still going at it despite nobody expecting them to ever do anything again.
Oh yeah, sure. Have you seen anything, like, what's the how are people feeling about it? Maybe cautiously optimistic?
Yeah, I think that seems to be the thing I've seen the most. People just being cautiously optimistic about it and sort of excited for the stuff they teased. And if this was the plan all along, they should have just released the game in early access, because nobody would have batted an eyelid then. Well, nobody would have cared about the state of the game.
Is there an early access on, like, consoles, like PlayStation? I mean,
I think the Xbox has something like that, don't they, Jamie?
I'm not actually sure.
I thought so. I thought Elite Dangerous was actually running on something similar to that on the Xbox or the PlayStation. I don't really know, but one of the two consoles has an early access thing.
Yeah, I don't think the PlayStation does. Not from what I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think either. It has to be the Xbox then.
No, I mean, it's real hard to, like, print a disc and then go early access, I think.
Well, Roller Coaster Tycoon World did that, if you would recall. The game was still an alpha, but got released on physical discs in physical brick-and-mortar stores.
Whoa, boo.
Yeah, that's like a completely new level of douchebaggery, right?
They were just trying not to have Planet Coaster eat their lunch, though, right? Is what it seems like.
Well, so they released a broken game on physical disc to the public. I had to include an actual sticker on the box saying that the game was not done yet, and they got burned for that. And
didn't Capcom do that with Street Fighter V, and then say it was because that the tournaments were demanding that they release it early so they could play it?
Yeah, that's a really easy way to defer the blame from you, someone. Like, you fucked up your game.
Well, it's your fault. You're the one who wanted it.
Right? Like, the onus is on the community and not on them to provide a good service to them. That's ridiculous. Nah, man. No Man's Sky. I hope it turns into the game they want it to make instead of what it became near the end.
Yeah, I want every video game to be a good video game. So, I mean,
yeah, right. You don't want to root against anyone, would you?
No, not at all. I mean, if a game turns out great and they keep adding stuff, then everybody wins. So it's good.
Exactly. Well, more news on that as it develops, I guess. And that leads us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to get in contact with us, you can go to Facebook, Twitter, it's probably Google+. We probably have that by virtue of having a Gmail address, I guess. Every social media known to man that people actually use, we're actually on that. We're also on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Store, all of that. My name was Christopher Anderson. Thank you so much for listening. I was joined here today by Jamie Van Lint and Samuel Yates. And we'll see you next week. See you next week. See you next week. See you.